Welcome to part 2 of our three-part series on introducing solid foods, which will focus on infants between 9 and 12 months of age. We will begin with a quick review of the recommendations from 6 to 9 months. Then we will move on to discuss meal times, meal consistency, and snack foods appropriate for infants between 9 and 12 months of age. We will also take the time to discuss the introduction of cow's milk. As with the first video, we will regularly be referencing the resource Feeding Your Baby, which was put together by Best Start. Between 6 and 9 months of age, it is recommended that you continue to breastfeed if you were already doing so, and to supplement with additional vitamin D each day up until 2 years of age. A baby's first foods should be rich in iron in order to meet their daily needs. Multiple food groups with varying textures should also be included on a daily basis. And common allergens such as eggs, dairy, nuts, fish, wheat, and tofu should be included one at a time, being sure to leave a 48-hour window afterwards to assess for any potential allergic reactions. And finally, at 6 months of age, you may introduce supplemental hydration, such as water, in an open cup. By 9 months of age, your baby's food intake should have increased significantly, and they should now be eating 3 established meals per day with 1 or more snacks. Here is a sample menu of a baby between 9 and 12 months of age from the resource Feeding Your Baby. For breakfast, a bowl of iron-fortified cereal with fruit. Then for lunch and supper, some meat or meat alternatives such as beans or tofu, paired with some pasta or rice, vegetables, and fruit. In addition to these 3 meals, several snacks have also been included, such as some dried cereal, a muffin with cheese, or small pieces of toast. When deciding what foods to include at mealtimes, remember to choose at least one example from each of these categories. Protein-rich foods, such as meat, fish, eggs, beans, lentils, nuts, and seeds. These foods are also consequently rich in iron. Carbohydrates are whole grains, such as rice, pasta, and bread. Fruits and vegetables, a variety of which are appropriate at 9 months of age, either raw or cooked. These categories may be familiar to you, as they now appear on Canada's Food Guide, which is what we're building towards for breakfast, lunch, and supper by 2 years of age. The third and final video of this series will focus on feeding infants from 12 to 24 months and will further explore these recommendations. Preparing meals with protein-rich foods, grain products, fruits, and vegetables can be easily done in a variety of ways, allowing you to offer your child a variety of textures. Here are some examples of the varying textures appropriate at 9 months of age from the resource Feeding Your Baby. Although baby food purees are very popular, be mindful that infants require foods of varying textures and that relying exclusively or too heavily on purees is not recommended. Plan meals with at least 2 different textures, such as a puree and finger foods. When it comes to choosing snack foods, keep in mind that your child does not need any excesses of sugar, salt, or fat. There are many prepackaged foods on the market targeting babies and toddlers. Be vigilant about reading food labels and limit or avoid altogether products that have added sugar, salt, or fat. Yogurt is an excellent example. A plain, full-fat yogurt would be an appropriate choice at 9 months of age, whereas a flavored or sweetened yogurt would be less ideal due to the added sugar. Now, this is true whether you are buying milk-based yogurt or a vegan yogurt, such as coconut yogurt. The same can be said for a wider variety of milk and milk alternative products, including yogurts, cheese, and butter. Buy full-fat products rather than their lower-fat alternatives, and avoid anything that is unnecessarily sweetened, flavored, or salted. Cow's milk may also be introduced at 9 months of age, but before introducing cow's milk, be sure that your child is already eating iron-rich foods regularly throughout the day, every day. You should also know whether your child is growing well according to their growth curves. Do not assume anything about your child's growth. If you are uncertain or do not know whether your child is growing well, speak to your family doctor or primary care provider. If you have determined that your child is ready for cow's milk, be sure to choose homogenized or 3.25% milk up until 2 years of age. Skim milk, 1% milk, and 2% milk are not appropriate as they do not provide your child with enough nutrition to support their growth and development. All plant-based milks, including almond milk and soy milk, should be avoided for the same reasons. Only homogenized milk is recommended at 9 months of age, in addition to breast milk or formula. To conclude this presentation, by 9 months of age, your child should be well on their way to adopting an overall healthy diet to support their growth and development. They should be eating 3 balanced meals per day with additional snacks. Meals should include a variety of foods from varying food groups and of varying textures. Excesses of sugar, salt, and fat from packaged and processed foods should be limited as much as possible, and only homogenized milk, breast milk, formula, and water are appropriate beverages at this time. Should you have any additional questions or concerns, feel free to call the Credit Valley Family Health Team at any time and request an appointment with our registered dietitian. Our telephone number is 905-813-3850, or you can use our online booking system to book your appointment at www.cvfht.ca. We hope that this information has been helpful to you, and we thank you for your participation.